I really want to welcome you back today. I will be the first one to tell you that in a video blog like this, it's probably very easy to wonder, who is this guy? What is this all about? All I can tell you is, I wish some 13 years ago that I had something like this. A great deal of thought and prayer and diligence on behalf of the production staff and myself go into this. I have never done a video blog off the cuff. I've done some that I thought, man, that was bad. I've done some that I thought, man, that was really good and fun. And then there's a million in between. I get so many great comments from you, emails, all that kind of stuff. It means the world to me. I try and answer every single one. It doesn't always get done very quickly, but I want you to know that we're so glad that you're here. Today I want to talk to you about one of the most unifying emotions that we feel, whether we're unfaithful, whether we're betrayed. If you're just a human being, if there's one thing that I know that you're going to feel in life, and that's pain. So today I want to talk to you about pain. Yes, the centrality of what I want to talk to you about is pain from infidelity and betrayal, whether you're unfaithful or whether you're betrayed. But I also know that it really gets hard when you're dealing with infidelity and then the pain of other issues comes to your door, right? Pain from kids, from bad choices or trauma or difficulty with kids, or finances, right? And the uncertainty of finances, or other peripheral issues with family members. And man, the list goes on and on. But if there's one thing that I know that you're experiencing if you're on this video blog, that's pain. And I really want to validate that as an unfaithful spouse, there's a lot of pain that goes into your life. And sometimes the betrayed spouses, we can kind of think, well, I'm the one that's, in the most pain. Well, you certainly probably are as the victim, but you can't discount the fact that those unfaithful spouses who are, pretty sober, if you will, and aware of what they've done are in a lot of pain. Now, again, they caused it, but it's still pain. So today I want to really try and give you a few pointers that I have learned, that Samantha has learned over the years in dealing with both pain from infidelity as well as pain from just life. Number one, pain has the ability to really get our attention. And to borrow a phrase I read the other day, a lot of times we like to box up this pain and put it away in the attic of our soul. The problem is it's going to come back 2, 3, 10 times stronger, and it's going to be even harder to deal with it then. And so as you lean into the pain, there's a receptiveness that you experience. There's an ability to say, okay, what is this pain trying to teach me? If you come from faith, it's easier to say, okay, God, you've allowed this. And anything that you allow, you have a purpose for. You wouldn't allow me to go through this if you didn't have a purpose behind it, if you didn't want to teach me something, if you didn't want to show me something. You're never going to waste my sorrow or waste my pain. If you don't come from faith, there's still a great ability to say, you know what? I don't know what this pain is for, but I'm going to use it for everything I can. I'm going to learn what I need to learn. I'm going to hear what I need to hear. I'm going to grow in whatever area I need to grow. I am going to be someone who is aware of the pain I'm experiencing, and I'm going to get everything out of life that I can get. If you medicate, if you try and run, if you try and pretend that you're not in as much pain as you are, you're only going to cause more pain, both now, but certainly in the long run. I've noticed that when I'm in pain or dealing with pain, I am more receptive to hearing from God, hearing from my trusted circle of friends. I am more open to being corrected and adjusted. I'm more open to hear things I wouldn't probably be as open to hear about if I was making all this kinds of money and everything was great and there wasn't any kind of pain in my life. And so when we're in pain, we're more malleable. If you want to find healing, you've got to be receptive to the experts and the expert resources that you're utilizing. The next thing I want to tell you is when you're dealing with pain, I have learned You have to resist and set your will against a heaviness and a despondency that will overtake you to the likes of which you maybe have never experienced. I remember one particular dark time where everything that could go wrong was going wrong. I just didn't understand it. And then that turned into just a despondency and a sadness. And the thing about sadness is it discolors everything, right? It will completely discolor your marriage, certainly, but dealing with your kids, your job, your finances, your car. I mean, it has the ability to discolor everything in your life. It's such great sadness that you will become despondent, and that turns into rebellion and anger and resentment and bitterness, which continues the cycle. And if you don't decide to draw a line in the sand, and if you don't decide to set your will against it, I promise you it will seep in. It doesn't come up one day and just overtake you, but it seeps in slowly to the point where you'll begin to say things you never thought you would say. You'll begin to express things that you think, oh my gosh, did I just say that? I would have never said that a year ago or a month ago or what have you. And so you have to decide that you're going to fight against it, and then you have to really kind of reset what winning is. Winning sometimes is getting through the day without lashing out. Sometimes winning is not being so joyful in the spite of incredible pain and disaster. I mean, let's be realistic. Whether you come from faith or not, I'm sorry, but sometimes winning is, you know what, I didn't scream at anybody today, I didn't yell at my kids today. Keep it simple. But if you don't fight against the overwhelming heaviness and despondency, I promise you it's going to come knocking at your door every single day. The next thing that you can do to cope with pain is have just a few safe places and safe people. Safe people are not going to necessarily give you advice. They're not going to try and fix it. They're not going to ignore you. They're not going to rattle off platitudes. They're going to listen. As Brene Brown would say, they're going to say, well, I'm here. I get it. I'm with you. Me too. A safe person is someone who's not going to try and tell you what you should do about your marriage or your family. They're going to be there to care for you, to listen to you, to let you vent, even if it's venting in text messages. Safe places are places where you're not going to fall into temptation. You're not going to fall into making choices that you shouldn't make. For me, a safe place is maybe sitting above a beautiful valley here in Austin, or a long drive, or if you live by the beach, going to the beach. But you've got to have a place where you can let your guard down, be vulnerable, relax, pray, meditate, veg out, and just really find some peace within you so that you can begin to continue to cope more and more with the pain that you're experiencing every day. Finally, as I said earlier, you have to set your will against the despondency, but you have to decide that you're not going to become, and this is something that really helped me. It may or may not help you. Please don't be offended at this. But I had to tell myself this, and I remind myself of it periodically. I would encourage you to remind yourself and encourage yourself that you are not going to become one of those bitter, angry people that just continue to piss you off. I have met a lot of people in my life that were rude, were hurtful, were unkind, purposely tried to cause me harm emotionally, and betrayed me. I made a decision, I can't tell you how many years ago, that I said, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to let this pain turn me into this bitter, angry, distrusting person that then radiates that same bitter distrust and anger into my kids, and then I create this generational toxicity that continues to be handed down. I want to encourage you not to be like that. I meet people periodically that are like that. Now, they went through dark pain, so I have compassion and mercy to a certain extent, but that pain shaped them and formed them, and somewhere along the road, they just decided, you know what, I'm going to turn a blind eye or turn a blind ear to how I'm becoming. I am who I am. Everybody can deal with it. Now, there's a certain level of understanding to say, look, I'm going to be who either God has called me to be, or I'm going to be someone I can be proud of. But I want to encourage you to not allow yourself to become this bitter, angry person that is just really a bitter person, and that everybody that comes in contact with you experiences that. The temptation is off the chart. And some of the things that I've been through, the temptation for me to be just a complete jerk and to care about my kids and Samantha and one or two other people and literally give everybody else the finger has been off the chart. I've experienced it. I know it. I know the person that I can become if I don't live the way I choose to live. And I am nowhere near perfect. But you know there is a person that you can become. There is a type of person that you can be if you don't do the recovery methods that you are putting in place, if you don't respond to the expert voices, if you're a Christian and come from faith, if you don't respond to God's pleading and the Holy Spirit, if you don't come from faith, if you don't respond to your conscience, if you don't respond to that voice within that says, don't do this, don't become like that, eventually that voice gets quieter and quieter, and before you know it, you wake up and you say, I just don't like who I am. We all have a choice in how the pain shapes us and who we are shaped into.